Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Boonaa Mohammed coming at you with another episode of Bro Code here on DOPStv. And I have another great guest for today. His name is Yasin, and he uses his love of photography to help give back to Muslim youth here in Regent Park, one of the rougher neighborhoods in Toronto. He runs a program called Shoot for Peace, which is all about using photography to help tell and capture their own stories. So let's meet up with him today and his crew on DOPStv with another episode of Bro Code.
Hold a second. Hold a second. Hold a second. Hold a second.
Yasin Osman is an early childhood educator and a photographer who specializes in evocative images of the living world. Raised in Regent Park, one of Toronto's most notorious neighborhoods, he has worked with companies such as Adidas, Facebook, and Vice. He has also done work for various humanitarian organizations in Mali and Ethiopia, and he is the founder of the Shoot for Peace program, where he teaches photography to other youth from the Regent Park neighborhood.
So today, what I want to talk to you guys about is symmetry. I want you guys to go out there and kind of document symmetry. You can do people, you can do whatever you want, okay? But I want you guys to show me patterns and all that type of stuff, okay?
Assalamu alaikum.
Like salam, how's it going?
What's going on, Yasin?
Good, man. How are you?
How's everything?
Good, man. Alhamdulillah.
Good, man. I see you taking pictures. Listen, I play with a little bit of video myself, but I want you to show me how to take a good picture. Can you do that?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay.
I got you.
Bismillah, let's go.
All right.
Now, a lot of people, they take pictures on their phones. Everyone thinks they're an amateur photographer, but I want you to give us some advice as to what we can think about when we want to take a photo to make it the best photo possible.
Nowadays, you see a lot of people taking photos. Instagram is super popular. We have a lot of people using their cell phones to take photos, right? So, for me, the two biggest things that I like to tell people to keep in mind is number one, lighting, and number two, perspective. Okay. You know, with perspective, you can totally change how the photo kind of speaks to somebody, right? When you're taking a photo of someone and you put the perspective over here, I'm gonna actually show you guys an example. Let me use Adam.
Okay.
Okay.
So Adam's gonna be our test subject. He's gonna be our model.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna take a photo of Adam from like up here. Right, and now I'm gonna go down here super low, super low.
Big smile.
Perfect.
Okay, so Yasin, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into photography.
Okay, so my first kind of interaction with photography was maybe when I was 13 or 14 years old, and the buildings in Regent Park were getting torn down. And so I would use my mom's cell phone and take photos of the buildings that were getting torn down, and I would show my mom the changes going on. That was my kind of like first kind of introduction to photography. I stopped, and then I got reintroduced when I was maybe about 19 years old. I was afraid to kind of come out and tell people about my love for photography because I thought it was like art wasn't what people were into in my neighborhood, right? And so it took me a while, like it took me a long while before I started to decide sharing my photography with others. I was about maybe 22 when I decided that I was gonna buy a camera. And I had to like really kind of decide that it's something that I love and I'm gonna invest in myself. And I couldn't be happier with that decision that I made. So this is the first one.
Oh, nice.
Right? And this is the photo when I look down from.
Oh, nice.
This guy's a model.
You know?
Okay, cool. So perspective makes it, and why does that make a big difference? I mean, when you're looking from high, what does that really say?
Yeah. So with these photos, when I'm taking a photo of Adam and I'm kind of like when I'm taking a photo of Adam and I'm kind of looking down on him, and it looks like he's like this really mesquite, like young guy, like he's just like he's at our level. It's like it's like someone wants to be my friend. Like when I look at that photo, I feel like oh, I can relate to this guy. This guy's like my peer or my friend. Right? But when we look at the photo and the person's kind of looking down at us, it's more like this authoritative figure, maybe someone that's like presidential, like someone who's already a president, as opposed to someone who's a candidate to becoming a president. He'd have the photo where he's kind of like looking up at someone, right? So these are the things that are very subtle, but like they make a big impact in photography.
So tell me a little bit about where your art has taken you. I mean, what kind of things have you done so far in the world of photography?
My photography has taken me all over the world, like alhamdulillah. Like I would never have thought that me buying a camera and like really studying photography and getting so interested in photography would take me to Ireland, take me to Saudi Arabia, take me to Africa, my motherland, right? And like it's honestly, I'm speechless. Every time I think about it, it feels like a dream, subhanAllah. But I'm really happy, alhamdulillah, for all the opportunities that I had to kind of travel in.
I mean, you were in Mali, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And you were doing some work there, some relief work. So talk to us about, I mean, that side of photography, because a lot of people think of photography, think of like glamour shots and in-studio stuff, but you were doing kind of stuff on the ground, really documenting the suffering of people. Talk about that experience. How was that?
I mean, I remember an instance where I was taking a photo of a child who was eating sand, you know, and his mother was there, and we asked the mother, like, why is he eating sand? And she's like, if he doesn't eat that sand, he's gonna start crying because he's gonna remember how hungry he is, you know, and it was those types of like things that were going on the whole time, like those types of things that I was taking photos of. And I kept reminding myself it's important for me to take these photos and document these for people to see the realities that are going on. So I felt like it was kind of it was a duty for me to like take these photos. As much as sometimes you'll see something and you feel like, subhanAllah, this is too much, like I can't take this photo, like, but I had to, you know, for people to see what was going on, and so people can really open up their hearts in terms of like wanting to help. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is lighting. You know, lighting plays a big role in photography. Just the fact that, let me use Adam again, if I can use Adam again.
Adam's our full-time model now.
So Adam's stand right here. So when I take a photo of Adam here, and you see what's happening is the light is hitting Adam on his face, right? And let me take a photo where Adam's right here.
So when there's less light.
Yeah.
So you started a program called Shoot for Peace, and I see the young guys here, and you know they seem really excited, enthusiastic about photography. Talk to us about that program, why you created it, and the kind of work you've been doing with it.
As much as like all the kids know that I love photography, I take my camera with me everywhere I go, and I'll always see them beside the basketball courts. I see the kids in the neighborhood, and they know that I have Instagram, and so they'll see me and they'll be like, "Hey, Yasin, we want to get on your Instagram, we want to get likes, we want to be Instagram stars too, like how can we get involved," right? I would come up to them and tell them, "Hey, like, do you guys want to do you want me to take photos of you, or do you guys want to learn how to take photos," right? And so most of them were like, no, we want to know how to freeze the ball in the air. We want to know how to take photos at night of long light streaks. We want to know how that works. Kids need a way to express themselves, you know? And I thought that the best way for these guys to express themselves is through art. And I do photography, and I felt like that would be the best way for me to kind of interact with these kids. And so they would come back taking photos of their family members, showing me their dad making wudu. And that stuff, like when I seen it, like it really touched my heart, and it really like opened my mind, and I thought, wow, subhanAllah, like everyone has a story to share, you know, and I wanted these kids to be able to share their story. Okay, so when there's less light, so the first photo I took of Adam, this is right here. And the photo's hitting his face, and it's super bright, and it's super everything, like it's very nice right now. We're gonna pretend this is a silhouette, the next one I'm showing you guys, okay? But on this one, it's really dark, and it's like a silhouette photo, like, you know, where you can only see his shadow, right? And this is the types of things you can do, and this is how you use light to your advantage. Right. Just changing the subject and just moving it around. When you're coming from this side, and you're coming from that side, you have two different photos.
So even the shadows can convey a certain message, right? If it's, you know, sometimes you see a picture and it's like half-faced shadow, and that's more of like a mysterious kind of thing.
Exactly, it's more of a mysterious type of thing, and when you take the photo and now you can see his full photo in the picture, and the whole light is facing him, it's like a really happy vibe to it.
So what do you see for yourself, I mean, as a photographer in the future? What kind of things do you hope to accomplish along the way of your photography journey?
For me, the most important thing is to take photos of people, whether it's in Toronto or even if it's in Africa or Europe. Like, I want to travel the world and share the stories of people that don't have a voice, and that's what ultimately that's what I want to do. And I really like to do like relief work, and I recently just came from Mali and Ethiopia, and I was with an organization called Pious Projects, and they were building mosques, and they were building medical centers, and I was documenting that, and I was part of that whole thing. And this is the type of thing that I'm into and that I love and I would love to do, you know, and that's what I'm into. So
what type of advice would you give to somebody out there who might see your story and is inspired and say, you know, I want to do something similar? What advice would you offer them? Because I'm sure there'll be difficulties along the way.
The number one advice for me for anyone who wants to make any type of change is start at home. You know, the number one thing is start at home, start where you are. A lot of people, they want to make change and they just want to change the world. Like they just want to change the world the same day, boom, I want to change the world. But it doesn't work like that. If you want to help kids, if you want to help people, change the people in your community, help the people in your community. And that's what I tell people all the time. The number one thing is, if you want to make change, start at home.
Alhamdulillah. And it's good to see a young brother like yourself giving back, and especially, you know, the mentorship component of your program I think is so important, because these young guys really have someone to look up to like yourself. So I want to thank you, Yasin, for giving us your time and for allowing us to hang with the crew. And may Allah bless you and reward you and allow you to continue doing what you love. And for all those watching at home, inshallah, hopefully you were inspired. Please stay tuned for another episode of Bro Code. I'm your host, Brother Boonaa Mohammed, signing off. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hold a second.
Place the cup on your back and squeeze the air out of the cup.
This is kind of like an after Fajr quick exercise.